Okay, so after the debt eliminator program, we also work with our families that are interested in doing consolidation loans. The question is asked here is how long would it take this family to become debt free? This particular family, they have mortgages, first and second mortgage. They have a car, 2 credit cards, and some store cards. And the total amount they're paying right now, it comes to $1,700, comes to $1,937 for a total of $206,000 worth of debt. Now, by doing the debt consolidation, this will give them an opportunity to free up some additional cash. This will also give them an opportunity to increase their tax deductions. This will also enable them to increase their savings and also be able to reach their goal of becoming financially independent a lot sooner. Now, looking at their consolidation efforts, they went from paying $1,937 to paying $1,192. That's a savings of $745. Now, the question is it better for them to pay it over a 15-year period, or is it better for them to pay it over a 30-year period? Well, the time value of money, we look at the time value of money, and we see here that if they do the 15-year, they will have $1,716 to apply after the first 15 years, and by putting that in a savings plan at 8%, they will have $593,801. If they put it in the 30-year plan, they will have an opportunity to make payments of $1,192. They'll have a difference of $524 in which to invest throughout the whole 30-year period. And as a result of having that $524 to invest in, hypothetically at 8%, they would have $780,948. A difference of $187,000. Wow, that's huge. That's huge. Can you imagine having $187,000 and still be able to pay your bills over a 30-year period? The first thought would be that you would actually believe that you'd be better off doing the 15-year. But by the numbers, it shows that actually they're better off by doing the 30-year and investing the difference for a 30-year period and coming out ahead. Basically, in step 3, what we do is we give people tools that will give them an opportunity to manage their debt and to eliminate their debt sooner. And that time value of money shows a really strong point here that if you do manage it well, you could have a huge nest egg at the end of that 30-year period. Now that would be step 3. Step 4 is develop an emergency fund. Now, develop an emergency fund, that's a biggie. Currently, do you have an emergency fund? Oh, okay. You currently do not have an emergency fund? Well, let me say this. A lot of people don't have an emergency fund. A really good emergency fund has 4 factors to it. It should be in a place that's safe. It should be in a place that's earning you a better interest rate than what you would have gotten in your checking account. It should have the ability to be liquid, meaning that it's easily turned over to money. And then finally, it should be in a separate account from your checking account, and it should be funded systematically. And what I mean by funded systematically, I mean that you have money that is going in there on a regular basis. Let me ask you, have you ever tried to have an emergency fund in your checking account? It doesn't work, does it? No. It's like free money. You think it's free money. And so what happens is we spend our regular money Then we spend the emergency money, and then we wonder, well, why is there no money left in the emergency fund? You can't do it. You have to separate them, and you have to keep them separated. And one of the other things that you want to do as well is have a stash of cash. And what I mean by that is, as a rule of thumb, it is suggested that you have at least 3 months of salary put aside for emergencies. Preferably 6 months if you can afford it. But in this day and age, how many people can afford to set aside 6 months of income just for emergency fund? It's very, 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 very high cost of money. So most people, they try to have 3 months, but 3 months is what's recommended. And that's step 3, eliminating debt. Step 4, develop. Oh, so that was step 4. Develop an emergency fund was step 4. Next, protect what you have. When protect what you have, basically that means that you need to have insurance to protect what you have. During your earning years, you should have insurance that covers your income. During your retirement years, you should have insurance that protects your assets. And the question is, how much money does one need in order to have the proper coverage? The answer, as a rule of thumb, is you should have 10 times your household income. So if you make $60,000, then you should have at least a $600,000 worth of coverage for yourself. Now, of course, that's just a rule of thumb. So if you have a mortgage out there, a big mortgage out there, you may want to also cover the mortgage plus that. But as a rule of thumb, that's what you're looking at. And so, as part of protecting what you have, a lot of times people do not plan very well. And my husband, he had life insurance up until 3 months before he passed away. And he received a letter from his insurance company telling him that his insurance was going to go from $900 a quarter to $7,600 a quarter. We could not afford to pay $7,600 a quarter. Unfortunately, we did not plan very well. And as a result of that, it was devastating. And it did cause a lot of problems. And I enjoy what I do because I don't want people to ever find themselves in the position that I found myself in, alone and without any coverage. It was devastating. That is number 5. Number 6, that's a biggie, and we'll get back with you in just a moment.